My name's Tony Leneskis, and I'm the owner of Integrity Financial, where we help you weave together your faith, your family, and your finances. You know, it seems that with the economy the way that it is and inflation and all these things, that we're hearing more and more about people in need. And it got me thinking about Proverbs 19:17, where it says, "Whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for this deed." There's a couple of things I want to mention there. Is number one, we're called to do this. We're called to help others who are in need, who need a helping hand. And so that's one thing that we're going to do this year is we're going to point out more and more of these things that we hear about and let you know about. And we'd ask you that you just pray about them, see if God puts on your heart to either serve, if it's a serving opportunity, or give to these things, because there are a lot of people out there in need. You know, I serve in different capacities. One of them is I serve on the Faith Academy Board of Directors, and we're always in need. I mean, we're a nonprofit that we're very much dependent upon the gifts of others in order to support that school. And the school is growing. This year we'll put in the 8th grade. This current year, we put in 7th grade, and it's exciting. It's wonderful that we can see these kids have this opportunity to grow up with a Christian education. So, you know, that's one need. Well, that may be something here locally, but also I know of a missionary, someone who actually lives in Africa, and he's doing wonderful work to support his community. One thing in Africa is there's so many kids that don't have parents, and you know, it's so traumatic. Their whole community is looking for people to help take care of these children. So he not only helps take care of many of the kids in his community, but he's adopting children, bringing them into his home, and in many ways creating his family that way. So we're going to bring these things to you. There's an article that we're going to have below. The gentleman I was just talking about, his name is Nathi, and he has a wonderful, wonderful, huge heart for the Lord. And so we're going to bring that to your attention with that article. And so bottom line, the other thing is the Lord, it says very simply here, it says, "And he will repay him for his deeds." I don't think we believe that. I think that many times we think that if we give, then so be it, we'll have less. And I've talked about this before. God simply says he will bless us when we are obedient. And we're not preaching the prosperity gospel here. I'm not saying that if you give $100 to something, that the Lord's going to pay you back tenfold. But the Lord knows what we need more than we know what we need. So if we trust him, then we're going to be looking for these opportunities. And we are going to be constantly saying to ourselves, how can I be a part of blessing others? And yes, in turn, receive the Lord's blessing. So that's all to say that we have another form of communication that we realized recently that you may not be aware of in our newsletter. We have a Facebook page. We're going to have the link to it down below. Jump on there, become a part of that community, because there's many things that we do throughout the month that bring up things for you to think about, to consider, to pray about. We'll bring in some of these opportunities, as we mentioned, to serve. One of the things we have coming up in the fall is Sleep in Heavenly Peace. And that is a wonderful organization that makes sure that the kids in Johnson County aren't sleeping on the floors, where we actually go through a process, work with that organization to build beds delivered to them free. And it's just amazing. It's amazing to see how these kids are blessed, these families are blessed in a way that they never planned on. And so it's important stuff. But that type of thing is constantly in our Facebook postings, and we want to make sure you're aware of them. So anyway, just to remind you, Proverbs 19:17 says, "Whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deeds." Let that sink in, pray about that, and get involved and see what God does in your life.